Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to my Edimmu Slayer guide. I'm going to be teaching you guys about how to kill the fairly newish monsters, only a couple weeks old, that Morvran can assign, but the only problem with these is they do have a very high requirement. You need 90 Slayer as well as 115 Dungeoneering to kill these things, so it's not going to be for everyone. However, if you do get a task of these, which are fairly rare now because the early bird bonus has expired and now this task is quite uncommon to get, you should count yourself lucky because they do drop blood necklace shards which sell for a very high price and are probably going to be a very valuable item for quite some time. The Slayer XP per hour at Edimmu is about 130 to 160k per hour, which is decent. It's about a middle of the pack task in terms of experience. It's definitely not a task that you would consider a waste of time doing for Slayer XP. It's okay. For the profit per hour, it's about 1 to 2 mil, and that's just in regular drops. That is not counting the price of the blood necklace shard, and that's really the only reason why you would do these for the money is for that shard. However, that shard is going to change a lot in GE price as time goes on and they become more and more common within the game, so I'm leaving out the price of that for now. But just keep in mind that the main reason you do these for money is for the blood necklace shard, and the rest of the drops are really not all that important. They'll pay for your supplies and a little bit more, but they're not bank without getting a shard drop. Also, the charms here are fairly bad. They drop crimsons, but not a lot of them. They only drop one at a time, and they're at a fairly uncommon rate, so don't do these for charms. The gear and inventory for Edimmu is a little bit different than your standard run-of-the-mill Slayer task. As you can see, I'm wearing some fairly high-level armor with the player-owned ports armor. What I would recommend for killing Edimmu is using a mage setup. Whether you have tier 90 mage or only a chaotic staff or Virtus wand and book, this is the way that you want to go. Even though they're listed as weak to melee, melee is by far the least effective out of the 3 combat styles if you are using more high tier gear, so I'd highly recommend killing them with mage or range instead. You also want to make sure that you have a salve amulet E equipped, and this will provide a lot of bonus damage to the Edimmus, and it does stack along with the Slayer helm as well, and it makes a huge difference. It is very, very noticeable when you are wearing the salve amulet versus when you are not wearing it, so make sure you grab one of those. For the magic, I just have Sea Singer's Noxious Staff, and for the rest of my gear, Vampirism Aura as well as a Ring of Vigor because you will be using a lot of ultimates here. And the Vampirism Aura is nice. It's not really necessary, but if you do get a lot of Edimmus piling you all at once, because they are aggressive, your health can go down quickly, but you should be easily able to take them one-on-one or even two-on-one without any problems health-wise as long as you have Soul Split and are using some good combat boosts. Then for the range, I have Ascension Crossbows, same setup essentially, as well as the Death Lotus gear. For my inventory, I decided to overload this task. You obviously do not have to. If you'd rather save the money, you can just use Extremes instead. And other than that, I also have an Attuned Ectoplasmator. Unfortunately, this does not work with the Demon Horn Necklace as we currently speak, yet you don't want to use a Demon Horn Necklace here anyway because of the Salve Ammy, so you just want to bring some Prayer Potions. And then in your Yak or whatever Beast of Burden you have, make sure to put a lot of Prayer Potions because your prayer will drain fast as you are using either Anguish or Torment along with Soul Split. I also have a Yak with some Yak Scrolls to bank stuff, a Gem Bag because they drop a lot of gems, a Spring Cleaner because they drop a lot of rune items, and runes, obviously if you are ranging you do not need them. Getting to the Edimmus is really easy. They're in the Elf City just located a little bit northeast of the bank, and again this resource dungeon does require 115 Dungeoneering to get in, but you won't be assigned Edimmus without that requirement, so don't worry too much about it. And they are a really, really easy monster to kill. Unfortunately, they do have a lot of health. However, if you are using Salve Amulet and Overloads and Anguish and all of these boosts, you are going to be able to drop them very, very quickly, and they are fairly decent XP if you have all of that stuff. So I would really recommend using Mage here. I have tried all 3 combat styles and can say definitively that Mage is by far the easiest, and I felt like I was doing a lot more damage with magic, and I was definitely getting a better XP rate with magic than I was with melee or range. However, if you have tier 90 range and don't have tier 90 magic or some sort of situation like that, feel free to use range. The main reason you'd want to use range is range armor has the best magical defense, so you're going to be well protected. However, magic does so much damage that you can just soul split back all of the damage that you're taking. Here I don't even have Vampirism Aura, and I'm completely fine with 3 Edimmus on me even though they hit fairly high, but that is why I use the player-owned ports armor as well, just to deal back some of that damage. And the main thing that you want to worry about here is you want to make sure that you're using Sunshine a lot. Using Sunshine on top of the fact that you're asphyxiating and using wild magic can just do incredible damage to these Edimmus in and drop them so fast. That's also why I bring the Ring of Vigor. Even if you wanted to bring adrenaline potions to use a few more sunshines, you could do that as well, because it's so close to a bank that the extra inventory space is used wouldn't be that much of a big deal, so you might want to try that as well. But overall, this task is really easy, and you can just drop the Edimmus very fast, and it's not even much of a problem. Every once in a while, you might have a really big Edimmu spawn, and this Edimmu has a ton of health and has an arrow pointing above his head. I would not recommend attacking these things. If you would like to have an Edimmu pet drop, you can kill them and have a fairly rare chance at getting that as a drop. However, if you're just worried about XP and or money, it's not worth killing them because they take a really long time and they barely give any more XP than the regular Edimmus, as well as those big Edimmus hit really hard. And finally, the reason why you're killing Edimmus is for this blood necklace shard. So if you manage to get one, that's really great. Currently, as we stand at the moment, they're about 14 mil or so in the GE. They will drop over time as time goes on, so if you are watching this guide far off in the future, they might not be even close to that, but this task is worth doing just for that chance at that very expensive drop, and that's a really great one to get just while slaying. So during the task I did for this particular video, it took me 93 minutes to finish off the task, and I managed to kill 284 Edimmus during that time, which equals up to 227k Slayer XP, which is a lot, and this is a very long task because Morvaran does summon a lot of them and they have 32k health each, but still getting that many Edimmus done in an hour and a half is a very good rate, and the price check was okay, about 3.2 mil. Some of those elf seeds might not sell for quite that much in the grand exchange, however it was respectable money wise and the XP was respectable. Again, really the only reason why you're doing this task is for the blood necklace shard. XP wise it's decent, and money wise it's again decent, fairly average run-of-the-mill task. Anyway, that's about all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to check out the rest of my Slayer guides in the link on screen or in the description if you have a need for them, and I will see you tomorrow with the next video. Good luck on getting your own blood necklace shards. Farewell.